let me show you some of the things that were manifested before you came. Because if you are not careful, you will think what you are offering is all God has to offer. A generation has demonstrated something before we came. And as far as God's calendar is concerned, we should manifest superior dimensions. Because it's from glory to glory. If we can't manifest what they have manifested, then we are in trouble already. This is why everybody here must become dangerously deliberate about manifesting God. Genesis 14, verse 14 to 15, we saw the life of Abraham. One man had 318 trained servants. What economic structure was he working with? That was a city in one man's house. Those were servants, and they had enough to train servants. Today we are struggling with one nanny. We can't pay our children's school fees, and we are serving the same God. There is something we don't understand. Abraham was going to fight against 4 kings with servants he trained in his house. They had competence that was superior to armies trained by 4 different nations. Because he was not just working with principles, he had mysteries. If you read verse 15 of that scripture, the Bible said, and Abraham divided himself among men. So the people who went to war were not 318 servants plus Abraham. They were 319 Abrahams. He had a technology. He divided himself among men. A theologian can say they grouped themselves into 4. That's not what the Bible is saying. This was a technology of priesthood that Abraham caught. God told him, I will bless you and make you a great nation, and from you nations shall be born. So Abraham knew he was not a man. Abraham knew that worst case he was a nation. So if Abraham put himself in you, then you too become a nation. That's why there was no record that there was casualty, because it was 319 nations against 4 nations. What did the man know? Where did he enter in God that made him wield that level of power? And here we are struggling with people who are inconsequential, and we call it warfare. What battles are we fighting? One man stood up without any prior information. They have arrested your nephew Lot. 4 kings have taken him. Hey, stand up. 318 servants stood up, and they went to battle, defeated them, and came back. When the king wanted to gift him, he said, no, I won't take a latchet from you, lest you say you made Abraham rich. My wealth comes from yonder. My God supplies my need. I'm richer than the nations of the earth. What did he know? These are the men who came before we showed up. So when you are telling God, this battle is too much, 10 people have ganged up against me. Say 10 people. Did you read about your fathers? 1 took 4 nations who are 10 men. That's why he said, surely they shall gather, but it shall not be by me. Every tongue that rises up against you in judgment, he didn't